Why is the LEGO Technic Crane Truck 8258 considered so legendary? Let's find out. This truck is packed with so many incredible features and mechanisms. It really is one of the most revolutionary sets of LEGO Technic. In order to activate the motorized functions, we need to turn on the battery box, open the left panel, select the function using a distribution gearbox, and then we can open the right panel and use the power function switch to extend the outriggers. The mechanism is pretty incredible to extend the outriggers, and it works absolutely beautifully. You can manually lower the feet using a 12-tooth gear. After we extend the outriggers, we can use the gearbox to select the lower linear actuator and raise the crane. Of course, we also have full control of the top linear actuator, and this one is connected through a clutch gear, which means this actuator won't work when picking up a heavy object. The top part of the crane extends, and it is a very basic, simple manual mechanism using a gear rack. There is an 8-tooth gear here connected with a blue pin simply to add some friction. Of course, we can also extend the hook, and it uses a basic ratchet mechanism. The crane truck is the last Technic set ever to include a metallic hook, and it was replaced with brick-built ones in modern Technic sets. Of course, we can also rotate the crane, and the best part is that it is not limited in any way, shape, or form, and can spin an infinite number of degrees. So, how are there two independent motions passing from the chassis onto the spinning crane without any limits? Well, it actually uses a very clever mechanism that essentially allows you to have two axles pass through the center of a single turntable. You have the main Technic axle itself, as well as a combination of driving rings that surround the axle. As a result, there are two motions that are able to be controlled completely independently, and the only other Technic set that features this exact mechanism is the 8043 motorized excavator, which came out just 1 year after the crane truck. If you're enjoying the video so far, and you would like to uncover all the secrets of LEGO Technic, then make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. No pressure though, no pressure. The cabin itself can also lift up, revealing an awesome V8 engine. Unfortunately, it is connected to only one differential, when there could have easily been two in the crane truck. The steering of the crane truck is done in a genius way. You have two pairs of wheels that turn instead of just one. The inner one turns less than the outer one, thanks to a gear reduction ratio of 12/20, which simplifies to 3/5. I'd say that the biggest drawback of the crane truck is the lack of suspension. Without suspension, it is just not very good for playing outdoors in rough terrain, but all the other amazing functions definitely make up for that. This set features a wonderful selection of power functions electronics. You get the battery box, a switch, and an extra large motor. Normally, non-RC Technic sets just get the bare bones, only a battery box and a small motor. This one really goes above and beyond. It feels like a modern version of the LEGO Technic Space Shuttle in terms of revolutionary mechanisms and the included electronics. I greatly appreciate the aesthetics of the crane truck. The front section reminds me a lot of the Kamaz truck, and it also seems to be inspired by some Scania trucks. Unfortunately, the cabin does not have openable doors, but the interior is detailed pretty nicely. I think that the amount of panels used in this set is just the perfect amount. In my opinion, many of the modern sets like the heavy-duty tow truck simply use an excessive amount of panels. It results in the crane truck using 140 less pieces, but offering a lot more functionality and a lot more advanced mechanisms. The top of the cabin is open, but I don't think it needed to be fully completed. The rear section has a lot of gaps, but I still think that the crane truck looks absolutely phenomenal. This Technic set perfectly balances functionality and aesthetics. Maybe it even favors the functions a bit more, and the crane truck is really the perfect representation of how Technic sets should be like. So was the crane truck really worth $150 in 2009? Adjusted for inflation, that's roughly $200, and I do think that for the price, the crane truck is absolutely worth it. Considering the heavy-duty tow truck retailed for $150, contained more than 2,000 pieces, and included a large selection of pneumatics, I think that the crane truck might actually have retailed for closer to $170. So what are the pros and cons of the LEGO Technic Crane Truck? For the pros, we have the amazing mechanisms. We have two independent motions passing through just one turntable. We have the outriggers, we have the steering. We just have so many cool mechanisms. Another pro of the set is that it gets a golden ratio of panels and regular pieces. It does not use an excessive amount of panels, but the amount of panels it does use is just perfect to define the shape. We also have the great selection of electronics electronics. The crane truck is also just a fun set. I had so much fun playing with it, so much fun building it. It really is a great experience in LEGO Technic. But what about the cons of the crane truck? I can only think of one major one, which is the lack of suspension. Other drawbacks here and there, like the lack of openable doors, are really minor nitpicks, so I don't consider them to be a major con. But what is your favorite function of the LEGO Technic Crane Truck? Please let me know down in the comments below. This is your Unbrick Me here, and I'll see you in the next one.